living wage.
Everywhere we go.
Everywhere we go.
People want to know.
People want to know
Who we are.
who we are.
So we tell them.
So we tell them
We are the union.
we are the union.
The mighty, mighty union.
The mighty, mighty union.
Fighting for justice.
Fighting for justice
And a living wage.
and a living wage.
Everywhere we go.
Everywhere we go.
People want to know.
People want to know
Who we are.
who we are.
So we tell them.
So we tell them
We are the union.
we are the union.
Mighty, mighty union.
The mighty, mighty union.
Fighting for justice.
Fighting for justice
And a living wage.
and a living wage.
Woo!
Woo!
When we fight,
We win!
when we fight,
We win!
All right, everyone, thank you for coming by, and we will get started soon on the program. Before we move in, let's do a couple more chants.
Look at me.
Feel a favorite one out of all these. Also, if you need to use the restroom, please do so soon and before the program starts.
What's disgusting? Union busting!
Union busting! What's disgusting?
Union busting!
What's outrageous? Workers' wages, right? What's disgusting?
Union busting!
And what's outrageous?
Workers' wages!
What's disgusting?
Union busting!
What's outrageous?
Workers' wages!
Yeah! All right, what about any other chants? What was everyone else feeling?
Hear our voices! Feel our rage! We just want a living wage! Hear our voices! Hear our rage! We just want a living wage! Hear our voices! Hear our rage! We just want a living wage! Hear our voices! Hear our rage! We just want a living wage!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else wants to take the mic and lead a chant?
When we fight,
When we fight, we win! 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 When we fight, we win!
give me another one.
Nobody does it like you.
I know.
Does it like you? Nobody.
You know, I'm 1/3 of myself.
I know. That's loud. That's loud.
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
Get it?
Shut it down!
We don't get it.
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 Shut it down!
That's right.
Oh, great. I'm so glad to see you.
I know. I gotta keep myself out of it.
Okay, I got you. Oh, absolutely. Michelle?
Can I get a picture of your sign?
Of course.
Thank you.
You want me and my sign?
Yes, of course. Always the person with the sign.
The people united will never be defeated. 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 Let's go. The people united will never be defeated. 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 I said the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Let's go. The people united will never be defeated. Let's go. The people united will never be defeated. 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 Let's go. The people united will never be defeated. Let's go. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people.
People want to know who we are.
WIST.
So we tell them we are the union. The mighty, mighty union. Fighting for justice and a living wage. Everywhere we go. People want to know who we are. So we tell them we are the union. The mighty, mighty union. Mighty, mighty union. Fighting for justice. Fighting for justice. And a living wage. We win. We win. We win.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to get started.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Thank you. Thank you for coming out here today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Carolina Ampudia. I'm one of the leaders of the Adjunct Union here at BC.
Thank you, Carolina.
I'm also one of the leaders of the 14 colleges that we are unionizing throughout the state. We are here, adjuncts, students, alumni, elected officials, and community to support because we stand against the untenable situation for adjuncts here at BC and throughout the country. You see, being an adjunct professor means that you're some sort of an idealist. And because of that, you have been paying the price for educating our communities. You have been doing that by risking and putting on the line your security and that of your families. I know how extreme that sounds, but the reality is even worse. Here in Broward College, we teach the majority of the classes. We are about 70% of the teaching faculty, but we are not like regular faculty. We have been forgotten in poverty wages. The median income of an adjunct is about $18,000 per year.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
We have no job security, which means that we are hired semester by semester with no expectation that our quality of the job that we provide is going to make any advance on that.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
We cannot retire because we don't even pay for Social Security.
Wow.
We do not have healthcare access.
Wow.
We cannot even get sick because we cannot afford the deductions that would come if we get sick and we are absent for that class.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. That needs to change.
What is most unfortunate is that we're not the ones losing the most on this story. Those are our students. The students who are paying high and actually record high tuitions and failing, falling in a huge debt while receiving an education that is declining in quality. Why? Because we are treating our career as professors as a gig, running from place to place, working in many places, 6 to 8 classes a semester in different institutions and still living in poverty. Colleges blame the state for the reduced funds, but at the same time treat us as the enemy when it comes to negotiations. We are here today because of that, because after 17 months of bargaining, things are not moving and the college and the administration are not conceding in the 4 things that we identified as the pillars for our unionization. Those are higher wages,
Right.
job security,
That's right.
the chance for a retirement,
That's right.
and we want also the healthcare access. Thank you.
right.
Thank you very much.
That's right.
Fixing these issues is our goal and our responsibility. We think it should be the college's administration also.
That's right. That's right.
We are tired and we won't be quiet anymore.
That's right. Stand with you.
We can and we should be working together.
That's right.
So we're going to introduce our next speaker. We're honored to have her. Thank you. So our next speaker happens to be the representative of District 103 in the Florida House of Representatives. This is a unique position because it's right between Broward and Miami-Dade. Cindy Polo it's inspiring, she's amazing, and we are honored to have her here with us. Her support has been unconditional since the day that I met her, and thank you for having us. Let's listen to her.
Thank you. Yeah. Elections matter. 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 Elections matter.
I can't hear you guys.
Elections matter.
So my name is Cindy Polo. I am not sure if I'm on, if you guys can hear me or not, but I'm pretty much of a loudmouth without this. And you're absolutely right. Elections do matter.
Yes, yes.
Because they matter, one, because it's your guaranteed right to speak up. But secondly, it is the best place that you can hold folks accountable. I am a brand new state representative. I have not been in office for yet a year. The reason that matters is we flipped a seat in an area where we were outspent 10 to 1. We went up against a political machine.
Yes.
I did not grow up in a political family, but I will tell you what kind of family I grew up in.
Right.
I am the daughter of a proud union man.
Yes, yes. I'll throw some doors for
A
you.
man that for 25 years felt very much abandoned by his own community. And he would come home and say, and as a very little girl, this is what I knew about unions. I didn't understand the dues, and I didn't understand really what the principles were. But I knew that my father, an immigrant from another country, from Colombia, said that the only time he ever felt that somebody had his back was his union.
That's right.
That monthly dues that he paid
Got your back.
was one of the most responsible things that he could do, not just for him and his employment, but for his family.
That's right.
Because the way that my father was treated at work was not just going to affect him. It was going to affect my mom. It was going to affect what he could afford. It was going to affect the conditions in which he worked.
That's right.
And so I bring that up because the importance of you guys uniting and speaking up and holding folks accountable is exactly one of the reasons we have gotten into this mess, is because folks aren't speaking up. Either they're afraid for their job security, or they're afraid that their voice is not going to be heard.
That's right.
And I applaud every single one of you for showing up here. Because again, I may not have grown up in politics and I may not have been groomed to be a politician, but I sure as hell have been on the receiving end of all of those policies.
That's right.
And
That's right.
what we need from you guys is to continue to unify and continue to demand a voice. I have put in a phone call to the president of the college to see where I can help to facilitate some of these conversations, because 17 months is a very, very long time. We all know that everything seems to be going up. Our cost of living, health care should not be a privilege. It should be an absolute right for every single one of us, and for us to be able to have access to do that. And we are now living, especially in our state, in a state that folks are just one emergency away from ending up on the streets. And as a legislator, one of the most frustrating parts of my freshman year is to show up in the Florida House, the house that belongs to you, that belongs to us, and be told how important our educational system is. We're told how important professors and teachers are. We're told on how Teaching our students is the future of our state. And yet, when it's time to sign off on budgets, when it's time to sign off on pieces of legislation that would support you and would help our students, all they do is cut. All they do is cut. So we as lawmakers are now expecting all of you to shape our future generations just on a whim and because you just want to, without taking into account the obligations that you have at home and the children that you have at home and the expenses and the obligations that you have. So I urge Broward College to not just listen to you because you have the power of organizing, but I urge them to listen to you and take action because it is in fact the right thing to do. We cannot say that we support education and we cannot say that we support students and we don't then put the support behind the folks that are doing the hard work. I stand with you, not so much as an elected official because, you know what, that's just a title. Okay. But I stand with you as a member of this community. I stand with you as the daughter of a man that had to fight for every single thing and every single privilege that I was able to receive.
That's right.
And my student loans that I still am paying are proof that my investment in my education is one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. But I did not get that education and I did not get the degrees that I have by myself.
That's right.
I have it because of the professors that sacrifice so much of their own life in order to make a difference in mine. So my obligation now to you with this fancy title is to constantly and consistently show up for every single one of you. I ask that you get louder and that you bring more and more folks. In order to be part of this, they don't just have to be part of a union. They are people that are affected by the decisions that are being thrown on you. You absolutely have a right to be heard at your board meetings. It should not just be part of public comment. If you are an essential part of this college, it is time that you get treated as such. I will continue to be of any assistance that I can be. My support and my loud mouth, that for sure you can always count on. Thank you very much for continuing to show up. And Carolina, I applaud you because doing this is not easy and it's sometimes a thankless job. But if it's not for folks on the ground trying to make a difference, elected officials like myself don't get into office. So thank you very much and keep doing it.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Representative Polo, for such a nice message. You know, it's inspiring, and it's also a reminder that we have to get really, really active. This is just the beginning. Our next speaker is actually somebody that doesn't need a lot of introductions for all of us. Alfonso Mayfield is the president of FPSU. That stands for Florida Public Services Union. This is a branch of SEIU. Alfonso was the first to believe in our cause. 5 years ago, we were just starting with this. We were talking and having like little flames all over the college, but nothing was happening. And he believed in us. So thank you for being here.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
So I'm not gonna stand on the table because I'm a big dude and it would break, and then I would have to pay for it and not get a bill. They probably file a ULP and all that stuff. So we're not gonna do that. So why are we here, right? So sometimes you define why you're somewhere by actually who's in the room, right? And so the first thing I want to do is I want to shout out 32BJ. Woohoo! So we have what? Airport workers, security, janitors. What else do we have? Healthcare. Well, I'm getting y'all next. So we got, that's who we got from BJ, right? And you guys are here because you're fighting.
Fight 15.
Oh no, it's a system. It's a system in place. You guys are here because you're fighting and you're standing alongside adjuncts who you don't know and some which you've never met before. From 1199, we have what? What y'all do? CNAs. We got CNAs at hospitals, RN CNAs who don't know the adjuncts here and don't know the folks that work at the airport and don't know the janitors, don't know the security, but they're here because they see common cause. We got Fight for 15 here.
Okay.
Fast food workers
Yes.
who are out here fighting, who don't know the custodians, the janitors, the security, the CNAs, or the people that work in the hospital, or the adjuncts, but they're here. Why? Because they see common cause in our fight. We got dream defenders here.
Dream defender!
So Rachel Jamil, they're supposed to be here too. Tell them. Alfonso said they need to. Alfonso's throwing shade. We got New Florida majority here.
That's right!
Right? Why are all these people here? We have elected officials here. We're here because we all believe in the same thing. If you work, you're supposed to eat.
That's
you're
right.
supposed to be able to provide for your family. If you work, you're supposed to have dignity.
Okay.
All work has dignity and should receive respect.
Say that again.
All work has dignity and should receive respect.
One more time.
All work has dignity and should receive respect.
All
Regardless of who you are. And my mama told me something a long time ago. If they do something to somebody over there today,
Okay.
they'll do it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you see your sister or your cousin or something get in a fight, what you supposed to do? At least where I'm from.
Get in the
You're supposed to
fight.
go jump in and get in the
That's
fight.
right.
Why? Because if they're against one of us, they're against all of us. And for the security personnel, fire, police who are also here protecting us today, we represent them too. Why? Because all work has dignity and we fight for all work.
That's right.
What is this fight about for the adjuncts at Broward? They deserve a living wage.
That's right. That's right. That's
Most
right.
of all,
That's right.
they deserve to be heard and treated as a partner.
That's right.
If you believe the lie that our work doesn't have dignity, and if you believe the lies they tell you, go to work, go to school, do this, do that, they did that too,
That's right.
right? Because they say that's how you make the big money. They did that too, and they're still mistreating them. Why? Because people that have power, that feel like they don't have to listen to you, will not listen to you, and they will give you whatever they can. This is about something more. This is about all of our collective voices saying to the top of our voice, we are people, we are humans, we deserve to be heard, we deserve to be respected, we deserve to make a living wage, we deserve a higher education system that is for everyone in this state, not just the half.
That's right.
That is what this fight is for. This fight is about adjuncts, but it's not just about adjuncts. It's about students, it's about other teachers who aren't even here today, but who we support in this fight, because if we win for one, we win for all.
That's right.
Right. I want to thank you all for coming and continue. This is not even the opening of a fight. We're a quarter of the way through a fight, and we're not going to stop.
That's right.
Let's continue. Let's make sure that we speak clearly, and let's make sure that we back each other up.
That's
and
right.
we speak with one voice.
That's right.
right.
Yeah. That's right.
We fight.
We win. We win. We win. We win. We win.
Okay, so our next speaker is running a grassroots campaign for District 23 for Congress.
Yeah.
She is a personal friend of mine, and she is the next congresswoman for that District 23.
All right. You got my vote.
I can't really hold this.
You got my vote, Jen.
I can just be loud. I'm just going to be really loud. So I wanted to say thank you to especially Carolina, but everyone from SEIU that came out today. And all the other, I mean, this is a massive effort that they're undertaking here to do this. But more importantly, I actually want to apologize to all of you for not knowing about this issue a whole lot sooner. And it's really embarrassing because we talk about education and teachers, and no one ever mentions adjunct professors.
Right.
All we hear about is public school teachers and their walkouts and their marches, and we don't talk at all about this.
That ain't right.
It's not right. So now that I know these things, I know that you are the majority of teachers here. I know that you're treated like second-class citizens. I know that you're underpaid, undervalued, underrespected, and underrepresented.
That's right.
And I know that that needs to change. And the main way to change that is everybody needs to tell everybody that this is an issue. Because I didn't know it's an issue. There's a lot of people that don't know it's an issue. And then when you start educating people about the problem and then calling them out to help. And the other way to do that is to elect people that will represent you and not management and not administration and not the corporate donors. Okay? That's what you need to have. So to that end, we are running a grassroots campaign. We take no corporate money, and we are there for labor. We are there for adjuncts. We're there for any of the labor unions that are here. I will always stand with labor.
That's right.
Always.
That's right, Jen.
And so what we need to do is elect people that will do that, and so support and force administration to come to the table and negotiate like they're supposed to do for all of you to get what you deserve. And the way to do that is information out in the public and getting elected officials like Cindy, who is amazing, to actually represent people. And as soon as you do that, that is when you will start noticing changes everywhere, not just here. So to that end, my name is Jen. I'm running for Congress. You can, please, we need
Got my
donations.
support, Jen.
We need donations. So at gen2020.com. Well, next gen. Say next gen. So gen2020.com. We are on Twitter and Instagram at genfl23. And please like our Facebook page because apparently that really matters. So everybody like our Facebook page, and we're going to be launching at the end of October.
Yep.
Gen2020.com.
Right.
Gen with one N, 2020.com. And GenFL23 is Twitter and Instagram.
Just like
for District 23.
Yeah, 23 for 23, right.
just like it.
Right. So, and so I am amazed by you guys, and I think you need to keep up the good work, and you are amazing. So thank you for letting me talk and take up your time, and I will always be here for union people.
Jen, 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 Jen.
Thank you, Jan, for your support and for your friendship. Our next speaker is another friend of the union cause also. Lorenzo Canizares is a retired labor and community organizer that has a vast experience in all aspects of union work. Mr. Canizares serves currently as the co-coordinator of the Labor Community Alliance, and he is a member of the editorial board of the South Florida Progressive Bulletin. Thank you for being here.
Our leader!
Your leader had to take a Hershey bar in order to be able to be standing up. I'm diabetic and I had a low blood sugar incident this morning. Anyway, I was in the labor movement for 40 years, and I had never seen a cause as worthy as the one that we are receiving here at Broward College with the adjuncts. Preach. I have to confess that I had never seen a battle of such importance. And let's talk plain English. If we believe in democracy, then we need to believe that the adjuncts here at Broward College deserve an administration that sits down to negotiate a contract that is serious about negotiating a contract.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What I'm seeing here,
That's right, Lorenzo.
what I'm seeing here, from what I understand is happening. You have been sitting down for 17 months,
17 months.
and nothing.
That ain't right.
And nothing moving, and they don't seem to be in any urgency to move forward with the negotiations. We need to remain, and I don't know if people placed that before, we need to keep in mind that the people here, the adjuncts in Broward College, got into the SEIU with 92% of the vote. 92% of the vote. That's right. Just reflect what that means. If that doesn't mean democracy, what the hell it means democracy then? I mean, that is the most glaring example of a wish of people. The adjuncts, what they're requesting, you wonder what is so offensive to Broward College. They are simply requesting basic labor rights that once in our nation were considered tantamount to human rights.
That's right.
When I was growing up, all these things that people are fighting about when in the labor union were considered basically guaranteed rights.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
things have changed tremendously.
Game has changed.
And things have changed tremendously. Rights as job security, livable wages, health care benefits.
Oh, Jamie, you speaking. You made it there.
By the way, remember that those that oppose Medicare for all, they talk about the fact that the people that have health care through their employers, they are very much in favor of keeping their insurance through their employer. Well, it's funny, in Broward College, you have like 1,200 people that work, but they don't get no benefit. I mean, so these people don't count.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
They don't count when they're talking about health care benefits. So this is a very important thing. And somebody here, a speaker before me, spoke about the importance of the situation with the students.
That's right.
And that is a very important issue because the 70% of the faculty here are adjuncts. 70% of the faculty here are adjuncts.
That ain't
Most
right.
people are being taught by adjuncts. So the deal here is that if you have people that are teaching your children,
My son.
your son and daughters, you have people that are not being able to make to live with security. You cannot expect these people to be on top of their game.
That's right.
It's impossible. No human being can act on that way. So it's really important that the community, the students, because basically this fight is not just for the adjuncts, but the main thing here is the students.
That's right.
The students are not gonna be getting the kind of education that should be getting
right.
with dedicated people, because people basically, when you are being treated the way that you are being treated in terms of salaries, working conditions, people have to come to work sick because they have no sick days. You know,
Come on.
that
ain't right. That's not right.
Were not manageable times ago are happening here. People, the other day I told Carolina that it seems to me like in Broward College you have a revolutionary situation because the conditions are so horrible that it makes it impossible to do anything but be in a revolutionary situation. So the unity of the community, the unity of the students, the unity of the teachers, and I hope that all the other unions in the area can see the importance of uniting in this fight. This will be a winning battle.
That's right.
We have to keep it up, and this rally, I hope, is the precursor to many other rallies.
That's right. That's
this
right.
is really important to continue the pressure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Where we fight!
Where we fight! Where we fight! Where we fight! Where we fight! Where we fight! Where we fight! We win!
Okay, guys, our next speaker is actually what just Lorenzo was telling us. We have to have the support of our students. We cannot be afraid of talking to our students about the conditions that we have. Elijah Manley is a student here at Broward College. He's 20 years old and he studies political sciences. But he's no regular 20-year-old.
No, he's not.
Elijah ran for the board, for the Broward Schools Board in 2018, and he's an advocate, a supporter for union workers, and we're very, very excited and very happy and thankful to have you here.
First thing I want to say is I would not be standing on this table if it wasn't for our workers, if it wasn't for our nurses, if it wasn't for our doctors, if it wasn't for our janitors, if it wasn't for our maintenance workers, if it wasn't for our teachers.
That's right.
And the importance of our teachers is very important. First, I'm going to tell you a story before I get into everything else. when I was in first grade, I had a very fantastic teacher who saw me sitting in the classroom one day, and she noticed something odd about me, and she found out what that was later when we went to lunch. She saw I had no lunch, and I wasn't able to get school lunch during that time. So the next day, she came and she had a little extra lunch, and she told me to stay behind while all the other kids were in the cafeteria. And she made sure I was able to eat lunch for that whole year.
Teachers matter.
Yes, they do matter. Now, fast forward to the future, in my first year of college, I wasn't able to get the financial aid I needed to go to school. So actually, an adjunct professor at Broward College put me aside and said, I want you to take my class. And said, I will give you the money that you need to take this class. And at first I'm thinking, you're gonna give me $500 to take your class when you're not even gonna get paid that much. So why would I do that? She said, take it because your education matters more to me. That's the strength of our education. Secondly, they say if you work hard and you do your part, you ought to get ahead. What we're seeing right now is we see people, our teachers working hard, they're doing their part, they're fighting their hardest to make sure we get our education, and guess what? The system's not coming to their aid. Something's wrong here. $18,000 annually? That's a damn shame in my eyes.
That's right.
That's a damn shame. That ain't
right.
That's not right at all. And what we have to do is we have to continue to fight and stand up and continue to stand for our educators so that they can get the health care that they need.
That's
so
right.
they can get the benefits that they need. They can get a living wage, because I'm paying all of this money to Broward College, and guess what? Where's that money going? Instead of going into management's pocket and all of these other expenses, it needs to be invested in our educators, but not just in salaries. We need to make sure our educators have the tools and the resources they need in their classrooms so that they can actually educate us.
That's right.
Because it's not just about the salaries, about having enough resources in the classroom, having the technology, having the ability to give us that education.
Right.
My mom was a nurse, and I want to give a shout out to all the unions here.
Yeah.
To 1199. I want to give a shout out to Dream Defenders,
That's right.
32BJ. I want to give a shout out to all of our students, and I want you to know, and I know, the students stand with you because you're educating us, and I would hate to be sitting in a classroom knowing that the person giving me my education is not even getting paid enough to live. That's not comfortable, that's not fair to me, and we're going to stand and we're going to fight for our teachers, and we're going to fight for
Thank you,
our educators.
All right, that was really nice. Our next speaker is one of our leaders. She is Michelle DeMarco. She's my partner in crime, and she does so much.
Don't say anything about that.
Everything.
I'm trying to keep a low profile.
Everything that we have to do, you know, running and helping with the union is not an easy task, but having a friend that does it with you makes things much better.
Thank you so much for that very sweet introduction. I'm very sorry. I never knew. Most people don't. Can you guys hear me? Because I am a loud person anyway, so I think I'm all right without the mic. I want to say that I am so pumped up to be here right now. All of you is so amazing. It's an amazing feeling. My name is Michelle DeMarco. I teach English here, and I am a proud member of the Adjunct Union of Broward College. That's right. To enact change for both teachers and students in higher ed. Without the hard work they do, none of this would be possible. I also want to give a shout out to our beautiful, wonderful SEIU people. Without this, it would not be possible. And I actually almost forgot to put you in my speech yesterday, sorry. But I remembered you right now. And everything we do, we think of you every step of the way. What would you think about what we're doing? And we so appreciate the support and the tutelage that you also give us. I want to also thank the wonderful students like Elijah who take time out of their busy schedules to be here. We really want to make a difference for all who see college as a way out of poverty. That's right. We don't just want the college to look out for us, but we want it to look out for all of you. That's right. Finally, I want to give a real good shout out to our Fight for 15 people. You guys are going through the same struggles
That's
we are
right.
going through. You're struggling for a living wage.
That's right.
We seem so different.
That's right.
But we're not.
We're
Not
not.
a lot of people know that, but
Working
we're not.
people.
We're fighting together to make our lives better.
That's right.
And this isn't about bad-mouthing BC administration. It's really not. We want to work with them in the most friendly and peaceful way possible. It might not happen. It's not happening right now. But it's not up to us. It's up to them to do their part. Over the last 16 months, we have been committed to bargaining in good faith, looking for the best outcome possible for both sides. We are forced to be here not because we're troublemakers, although it's kind of fun to be a little bit of a troublemaker. Yes! Yeah. But because they've silenced us at Board of Trustees meetings, which they canceled today, by the way, because they were too scared to hear us today.
That ain't right.
They don't want us to tell the public that they refuse to give us job security, a living wage, and health insurance. We are the majority of faculty here, and it's not fair to our wonderful students that we have to rush to 3 or 4 jobs instead of giving the mentorship to our students that they need and deserve. It's not fair that some teachers can't make rent and must depend on family members to make ends meet, or apply for PA to stave off homelessness.
That ain't right.
Now some may say, well, you chose your profession. Really? Well, you tell me if you think what we do is valuable. We don't do this for the money, and we don't ever expect to get rich from this. We do it because we have a passion for education. And 20 years after graduating from college myself, I still believe education is the key to success and advancing our democracy.
That's right.
Maybe I'm naive. But one thing I do know is that this isn't just an adjunct problem, or even a Florida problem. Workers of all kinds are being treated like second-class citizens across the country.
That's right. That's
So
right.
yeah, it's not just our problem. This is an American problem.
That's right.
We
That's
want
right.
so much to believe in the American dream.
That's right.
But to so many of us, it's become the American scheme.
That's right.
I can't even
Tell
tell
us.
my students that college will do anything to improve their living conditions, and that's the biggest problem of all.
That's right.
But we're all a part of this movement to change that, and we need your involvement and support. You don't have to do a million things. You can just do a few things, or one thing. Call some friends. Let everybody know what's going on. Go on social media. Spread the word. Whatever you can do is much appreciated, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. This is the start of something really big, and you are all now a part of this movement. And I thank you for that.
We win! When we fight! 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 We win!
Our next speaker is another dear friend of mine.
Everybody.
Amy France is the president of the Progressive Caucus in Broward, and we're honored to have you.
Amy!
Alright, I have a problem with rhyming.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a problem, it's an infection. So I want to say, hello warriors! Hello! My sisters and brothers of the profession that begets all others.
Okay.
We stand with you here today to demand justice, job security, and fair pay.
That's right.
Because if we do not respect and honor our teachers, I gotta rhyme, hold on. If we do not if society does not value those who teach, then we do not practice what we preach. To aspire and achieve and dream beyond destiny can only be taught from a place of dignity. But as I look around today, it's quite clear that you all have your dignity. That's why you're here. What you demand is respect and stability to better serve our community. You need the resources and tools of your trade to build futures for the students who pass and parade. Tenured or not, neither is expendable. You're both equally qualified and equally dependable. You are not an option. You are the cornerstone of which everything else is built, and this is your home. And when we enter it, we are willingly paying the fee to take care of those who take care of our community. So if our professors are struggling to get by, then it's the ones who budget our money where the fault lies. So those to those who do not teach, but decide for the rest, you'd better be worthy, honorable, and up to the test. For we will not leave our brothers until all demands are met. We will not leave our brother's side until all your demands are satisfied. today, tomorrow, and hand in hand, stronger together, this union will stand.
Okay. Our next speaker is Woody. He is here to support us from the Fight for 15. Let me just say, have so much in common with us, and we have been fighting together with them since we started. For the past 2 years, we have been very, very active with them, and we're very happy to have you here fighting with us as well.
Thank you, Toti. Yeah, give them a hand. And when we fight, we win. And when we fight, we win.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Okay, I'm Hitoti. I'm with Fight for 15.
Fight for 15, yeah!
And for the professors, I support minimum wage. For me, it's hard because my family is in Honolulu. But I was raised here in Miami with my dad. It's a long story. Miami became my second home. But, you know, today when I see my population, my people, Waikiki, homeless, for me, it's like a shame because nobody wants to do anything for them, especially my people. And when I came to Miami, you know, I didn't know I was going to stay here for life, but I was adopted. But I went to school here, everything. I didn't graduate it because I thought school was too hard. But now I work, I'm a fast food worker at McDonald's. Still not making enough. I got 2 jobs. I can barely pay my rent. My boss cut my hours. So
That ain't right.
I can't even buy food.
That ain't right.
Yesterday I was crying because I received a letter from my mother. And it said, son, this is for you. All I want is happiness. I didn't ask her for anything, but she sent me money, a lot of money. Because she knows I'm struggling here by myself. And my family's far away in the Pacific. They're praying for me every single day. Even my niece and my nephew. But I'm here supporting Factor 15 and Union and the professors. I see that we're all fighting for the same thing. And I'm tired because I don't feel like just cleaning, flipping hamburgers, doing dishes all my life. And my pay is still the same thing. And my mother has to send me money all the time.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
It's hard because I'm by myself. 3 years ago, before I knew Fight for 15, my son says, hey dad, I want to come with you. I have a son. I had him real young. I was like in my 20s. But now he's a teenager going to high school. And he wants to come here. I say, son, I'm sorry. You're going to have to find a job. I can't afford it.
That ain't right.
You know, I'm not making enough. So
2 jobs.
2 jobs. And I said, if you want to come here, you're going to have to save your own money. I can't. But if I wake up one day, the next day, and I hear we're getting 5 for 15, then I'm calling my son, yo, you're coming here with me.
That's right.
That's right. I need to be with him too. He needs to be with me. I can't do it. So I need your support. That's why I'm here to fight for minimum wage. Thank you.
Thank you.
The fight is real. Really, that pursuit of happiness is something that we all are fighting here for. All of us have a right to have that. All of us should see that coming, but it's not. Our next speaker is Carlos Naranjo. He is a BC alumni. He graduated in 2005. And he's currently an organizer with the New Florida Majority. He also has helped with the Faculty Forward campaign before.
Yes,
and we're very happy that he decided to come back and invest some energy in us.
All right.
So we're hot and sticky, but we're with the union. A lot of people said basically what I was going to say, but I'm super happy to be here. This is where our siblings are. This is where all of us should be here. And I just want to say that I found out as I came in that they were fearful of all of us here and that they canceled the meeting inside. That just shows the cowardness of these people.
That's right.
And that's shameful.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Yeah. It shows the fear that they have when people are organized and mobilized. And that's why we should be profoundly proud of we're here. We made them cower, and they were fearful to be us in the meeting, and we should be profoundly proud of that.
Woo! We'll be back.
And we'll be back. Anyways, in looking at the signs, they're lovely. I think we should chant a little bit.
Yeah.
Equal work,
Equal pay.
equal work,
Equal pay.
equal work,
Equal pay.
equal work,
Equal pay.
equal work.
Equal pay.
But we know the situation that we're in. We know very well that if you're black or brown, in this country you are under attack.
That's right.
If you are a woman or a queer person, you are under attack. If you are a Muslim in this country, you are also under attack. And of course, if you are a worker and a member of labor, you are under attack. But the important thing is that what all of those groups have in common is that all of them are workers.
That's right.
All of them have the fire inside their hearts that propels them to come together and fight for our rights. Anyways, just to say that myself as a proud student and an alumni of Broward College, I remember myself walking through this campus, studying, struggling, trying to get ahead. And I'm actually proud of this place. I'm also proud of this place because of the people that were here, because of the teachers. People were mentioning stories of teachers bending almost backwards to make sure that the students are taken care of. Those stories are very common. I remember being here, taking ENC, LN and 1 classes, which are the English classes. Where I was just, yeah. I'm Latino, so I like to dance a lot. I dance a lot. So I remember being here, learning English, and how hard the teachers work to make us understand and make us learn a little better. And this was also the place where I learned the language, right? And so when I hear that there are teachers here that are being mistreated, it's profoundly shocking, but it is also personal. And what we're saying here is that because we're solidarious with each other, it should be personal for all of us. But anyways, we've been here alone, but let me just say that we should be coming here more often, and we should be connecting with one another, and so that next time we have even more people.
That's right.
And I want to thank everybody that made this happen, because this is profoundly necessary. This is a time when we need to awaken ourselves.
That's right.
The horror comes from DC, but it is also from our very own communities, and so we need to organize and mobilize and get out there.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so lastly, a chant. When people and workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When people and workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When people and workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When people and workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Power to the unions.
Power.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 Okay, guys.
I'm not doing.
That's exactly the most outrageous thing what he just said. A lot of us feel ashamed of talking about our issues with our students, and we have kept this fight quiet for far too long.
That's right.
The other thing that is there is that administrations all over the state are using more and more money from the funds that they get into administration, not into what happens inside of the classroom. So we need to change that.
That ain't right.
Our next speaker is Olemi Melendez. A sister from the union, and we're very happy to have you.
Union! Yeah. Union!
You can talk now. You can talk now.
We are the union!
justice! Fighting for justice! We're the living wage!
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Odenis Melendres, trabajo en Miller School of Medicina y conjuntamente con Said.
Hi, my name is Odenis Melendres. I work at Miller School of Medicine and I'm part of SEIU 32 VJ.
Thank you. Ok, el día de hoy estamos aquí apoyando a todos los trabajadores de aquí de Broward porque queremos apoyarlos para que tengan los mismos beneficios que nosotros los trabajadores de la Unión hemos tenido hasta hoy.
So we're here supporting Broward adjunct faculty because we want them to enjoy the same benefits that we have benefited from up until now.
Right. Nosotros nos hemos ido a huelga para lograr lo que tenemos.
We've gone to strike to fight for what we have right now.
Hemos batallado duro, unidos siempre.
We fought hard and been united
Hemos
always.
logrado lo que tenemos.
And we fought for what we have right now.
Por eso es que salimos a apoyar a todos los trabajadores que quieran lo que nosotros tenemos.
That's why we fight and support all the workers that are fighting for what we enjoy right now.
That's right. That's right. Porque todos merecemos un salario justo.
Because we all deserve a living wage.
Respeto y dignidad.
Respect and dignity.
That's right. Que se valore nuestro trabajo, que no nos exploten.
And that we're not exploited and that our work is valued.
Yeah. That's right. Y por eso vamos a seguir trabajando y apoyando a todo el que lo necesite. Porque para eso somos la Unión.
That's right. We like to.
We fight!
We win!
When we fight! We win! When we fight! We win! When we fight! We win!
So one more announcement. We're holding our own strike rally at Fort Lauderdale Airport.
We're there!
This Friday at noon. Please come and support us.
We're there!
Thank you very much.
We'll be there!
We're putting you in charge of chants.
She's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
32.
BJ! 32. BJ! 32. BJ!
Okay, our next speaker is Teresa Williams. She's an attorney and she's a candidate for state attorney. Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Great.
Great. My name is Teresa Elizabeth Williams. Some of you may remember me. In 2016, I ran against the 40-year incumbent to be your head prosecutor in the Broward County State Attorney. I decided to take on that challenge and run for state attorney because I saw a criminal justice system that treated people like numbers, not like human beings. And it was very few people, very few groups who were willing to stand up for the rights of the common man that lives in this county. There were very few institutions who were willing to stand behind me and say what happens in our courthouse is wrong. And one of those very few groups and institutions I am exceptionally proud to say was SEIU.
Yes, always.
A story I would give on the campaign trail. The story goes a little like this. I was raised by 3 women, and I'm not going to go into the entire story, but my family pooled their resources together, and one of those women was Marion Cosgrove. Marion Cosgrove was a militant feminist, and in me, Marion Cosgrove saw the little lawyer that she always wanted to be. And what she taught me was that when you see something that's wrong, you don't stand by and let it happen. You stand up. You speak out. You do everything in your power to make change and never give up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know who that woman was? That woman was the treasurer of 1199 in New York City. Woo! And can I tell you that I spent my childhood with a picket sign in my hand yelling bread and roses for our common man, for our workers, and my aunt had me standing in a picket line when I was about 7 or 8. And you know what I remember? I remember the day my aunt got arrested. I remember the dogs. And you know what I'm going to tell all of you here today? That will never happen in this county on my watch. I promise you.
that when I become your Broward County State Attorney, I will protect your right to free speech.
That's right.
I will protect your right to assemble.
That's right.
And the other thing I will do is I'm going to help you fight against the good old boy network that I see every day. You guys know now. These are the people that think that our educators should barely make minimum wage in order to not even be able to get by, so that you have to work more than one job in order to be able to support yourself. The good old boys, they're the people that devalue everything in our community that's really important. And why? Because it doesn't make them money. And you know what? I stand behind all of you for what is important. There's a young man with a sign. Your budget tells me about your values. Well, we as a community need to stand up and demand your budget needs to take into consideration that what we do is one of the most important things that this community can do for anyone. Educate our youth.
Right.
What could be more important? What could be more of our values? Where do we want our resources spent? That's what we want, and I will always stand behind you. I will stand behind you for what you do. I will stand behind your students when they make stupid mistakes. We will evaluate those decisions, and I promise that any time that anyone is preventing you from fighting the good fight, that I will always be there, and I will always have your back.
Thank
I'm
you.
Teresa Elizabeth Williams for Broward County State Attorney. Thank you all so much for having me.
Voting matters. Way to go, Teresa.
Voting matters.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. And we have another speaker that we're very, very happy to have today. Many of you have even seen his story on the social media and in the newspapers also. You might remember that last Friday it was the strike for the climate.
Yeah.
And one of these students in high school, a future Broward student maybe, was suspended, and he's not allowed to vote from or have any of those seniority rights. And that is for doing what is right. So we're not alone in this fight. We are standing always and constantly for the things that are wrong in our community, those things that we need to call out, and the things that we need to change. We're very happy to have Elijah Ruby.
Elijah Ruby!
All right, so how's everyone doing today?
All right!
All right, so I just want to begin by saying, my parents were adjunct professors for a long time. They're at the Art Institute, Nova, Broward, MDC, they went all over. My parents were lucky enough for a long time to have enough hours given to them as adjuncts to where they could live comfortably and successfully. But I knew, living at home, the trouble it was, because all the time, being an adjunct, it's precarious work. So one of them would be let go or shifted to another campus, and they had to all the time figure out online schedules, different campuses. And when you're living in that sort of precarious situation, it's really difficult to, plan for the future, do any basic things. And, people are talking about wages. What goes into wages is security. And people need financial security, but also the security to know that if you're working long hours and, being hard at work, trying to provide an education for people, you need to be secure in your job and your location. So first, I'd like to thank all the adjuncts here who aren't secure in either wages or physical location, or forced to travel all over Broward County, Dade County, Palm Beach County, go to different universities with different jobs, different bosses, just to sort of scrounge up a living. And secondly, what I'd like to say is my group and organization, the Sunrise Movement, is at the forefront of the climate change issue and the climate change debate. In this crisis that's going to happen, it's the movement of young people. In with young people has to come teachers. So when you have important teachers that stand up, like my friend Elijah Manley was talking about, teachers that are willing to pay out of their own pockets, even though teachers are middle class to lower middle class, forced to be. To take money of their own salary just to provide an education. That shows you the sort of dedication teachers have to the mission and project of education. And we need to pay them accordingly. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, Liza. Okay, how's everybody feeling? All right. A little proud and a little tired, right?
When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
When we fight,
we win.
Okay, so our next and last speaker is another leader of our union. We're very happy to have you with us, fighting alongside with us. Her name is Gail Schott. She teaches political sciences here at BC. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you for staying, because nothing is worse than being a teacher and having no one to speak to, right? So thank you. I grew up the proud daughter of a union member. My father was a United Papermaker. And throughout the course of my life, I saw him fight for pay, for vacation, for respect. I only saw my dad cry twice in my life. One was when my mom died. The second was when they broke his union. In 1987, when my dad was 64 and a half years old, his union was faced with either accepting to completely and totally lose their retirement, to lose their ability to negotiate, or they had to strike. They struck. And after that, International Paper ceased to have the union exist. Why? Because there wasn't support. And today we need that support. I never thought in my life that I would choose a profession like teaching and need to call upon my union brothers and sisters as a way to protect me and to protect my students. I chose to teach political science because I believe students need to know they can make a difference. That's right. That they can be the change. Right. That they don't have to accept the world as it is.
That's right.
And I applaud each and every one of you for being that change, for standing up not just for yourselves, but for each of us, and for making a difference in this world. We all deserve respect.
That's right.
We all deserve the right to life, to liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's right.
Yeah. And we can't have those things if we can't pay our rent.
That's right.
If we can't buy our groceries, and if we can't take care of each other. So thank you for being here and standing with us. Thank you for doing your part to make the world a better place. Thank you for being a model for our kids. We need you so much. And each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart and from the depths of my dad, thank you.
We got your back. We got your back. We got your back.
From here, we also need your help. Where's your march on? We're at the airport, right?
Yes.
If you
Friday.
can't be at the airport on Friday, if you can't be at our bargaining table, because we are attempting, God willing, and the Board of Trustees doesn't cancel us again, we are bargaining again this Friday, and we could use your support as well. Our bargaining, it takes place at
noon to 5.
From noon until 5 this Friday at the Cypress Creek campus. So if you are in the south, go to the airport. If you're in the north, come to Cypress Creek and join us. We would love to see you again. And please know that we also stand in solidarity with you. So thank you so much for being here. And because of you, we can make a difference.
We are expecting to see many of you at either or the two things. What I wanted to say is that the administration, the board, they know that building is very hard for access. There's a guard on the outside, but bargaining is supposed to be a public event.
Right.
So you have to access, you have to be able to access. It's on the 3rd floor. It's the only big conference room over there right outside of the elevators. Please come and join us. We need to negotiate in what people call the fishing bowl. People need to be able to see what's going on so that they stop the abuse. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making a difference in our day.
Where we fight, we win! Where we fight, we win! We win! We are the union! We are the union! The mighty, mighty union! The mighty, mighty union! Fighting for justice! Fighting for justice! And the living wage! And the living wage! We are the union! We are the union! The mighty, mighty union! The mighty, mighty union! Fighting for justice! Fighting for justice! And the living wage! And the living wage! We are the union! We are the union! The mighty, mighty union! The mighty, mighty union! Fighting for justice! Fighting for justice! And a living wage! And a living wage! Hey, oh, oh, hey, hey, oh, oh. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! Shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Well, it's over, and we've been live streaming this for an hour.
Oh.
Yep. Goodbye.
Yes.